Hello, my name is McAngelo Dr. McScruggs, and I am seeking the privilege to become your next DC Councilman at Large. On Thursday, October 1st, if you are a DC Medicaid recipient, many of you arrived at your doctor's office only to find that your health insurance without your knowledge had changed. Some of you will find out the next time you call your doctor's office to schedule an appointment that your health insurance has changed, potentially to one that your doctor doesn't accept. Why, do you wonder, has this happened? Now, patients and providers alike, myself included, have been very happy with the administration of what we call in the district straight DC Medicaid, and the abundance of medical services DC Medicaid allows and pays for to eradicate healthcare disparities and improve the quality of life for DC citizens. But DC Medicaid has once again punted many of its citizens to one of three managed care organizations, which are medical insurances under the DC Medicaid program, in an impromptu way, without sufficient advance notice. Those citizens who depend on DC Medicaid and the services provided now have to learn about the insurance they were punted to, not one that they had the opportunity to select. Patients who are DC citizens have explained that they feel helpless and vulnerable being placed on an insurance that they are not able to select, one that they know nothing about. As a medical provider, I feel the frustration from patients when they feel blindsided and have to navigate through another insurance, not sure if it will cover all of what DC Medicaid covers, and not sure if they will be able to keep their doctor. Now, patients choose doctors with whom they feel most comfortable, as should be their right, the right to choose. Relationships between doctors and patients are often forged over many years, and there is an element of trust that exists between doctors and patients. The importance of that trust cannot be minimized or disregarded in the transition to another insurance. Every insurance doesn't allow you to keep your doctor or pay for every service you were once entitled to receive under DC Medicaid. Managed care organizations, especially here in the district, have loose oversight that allows them to offer the services they choose, allow payments to providers for services they choose, and to credential medical providers as they see fit, regardless of whether or not the provider is in good standing as a DC Medicaid provider. While some managed care organizations do follow the same guidelines, cover the same services, and allows the same providers in network as does DC Medicaid, I can tell you as someone who works closely on both the clinical and regulatory side of the medical insurance process in DC that all managed care insurances do not follow DC Medicaid guidelines and standards, and all insurances are not the same. The reality is that you may have to start over with a new doctor, whom you don't know, and who doesn't know you because you've been given an insurance that you didn't choose. And to think that this happened this year during a pandemic, when our citizens have had to navigate COVID-19, when patients believed as one of the only constants in this pandemic that if they became sick, DC Medicaid would be there to answer the call and take care of the bill. Now there exists a great deal of uncertainty and anxiety centered around whether or not people will actually be covered in a pandemic that is still ongoing. This is not the first time that DC Medicaid has moved recipients without giving them an opportunity to first choose the insurance from the three managed care organization options that the patient will be placed on. This has become routine. Patients have reported that they haven't even been given an opportunity to remain on DC Medicaid if they so choose. Now, this just doesn't seem right to me. While it has been suggested by the agency which administers DC Medicaid that patients will still be able to see their doctors and receive their health care without interruption, this is not and cannot be guaranteed. Without signed contracts with providers, managed care organizations are not required to pay out-of-network providers for services. Patient care then suffers, and your health hangs in the balance. Now, the Washington Post reported in August that DC intends to phase out DC Medicaid as we know it, and put almost every DC citizen in one of the three managed care insurances under the DC Medicaid program. This will be tragic. I'm going to say it again. This will be tragic. Almost 250,000 DC citizens will be affected. Now, this is why we need a physician on the council. someone who knows the nuances of medical insurance and medical care, and will work with the administrators of the DC Medicaid program to tighten regulations and oversight over these managed care insurances that come into the district, who will ensure that DC Medicaid mandates the payment for provision of services by these managed care organizations that are fully comparable to those services paid for by straight DC Medicaid and received by DC Medicaid recipients. As councilman, I will also ensure that on all insurances administered under the DC Medicaid program, that patients are able to choose which insurance they would like to be placed on. And I will work to expand DC Medicaid eligibility criteria to allow more DC citizens to be eligible for and to stay on DC Medicaid, straight DC Medicaid. I will ensure that patients are able to keep their same doctors, and will ensure that policies regarding patient care and patient access to their chosen provider is fair and equitable to both the patient and his or her physician. DC Council has not voted to block this initiative. The Bowser administration and DC Council does not have the luxury to decide that because they are not personally affected and therefore have failed to act, that this initiative, which categorically changes the access to health care in the district, especially for our lower income residents, especially for communities of color, should go forth. Because I am here to meet your needs, I am personally and deeply affected by what this means in terms of your health. It's all about you, DC, and I will fight for you every day to ensure fairness in your health care, fairness in giving you a high quality of life. This is about fairness in treating you well and about keeping you alive. On November 3rd, 2020, vote Dr. Mick, DC Council at Large. Go to www.drmic, that's www.drmickdccouncil.com, to learn more about me and about how I desire to work to meet all of your needs. Thank you.